Hey everybody, my name is Brandon Anderson and I'm the Executive Director and CEO of the Auburn Duesenberg Automobile Museum, and I'm here with you today at our Collections Conservation Center. This purpose-built building was completed about 5 years ago and it allows us to house our pit crew. They come in here and they work on all of our different vehicles, whether we're getting them maintained or we're putting them on display inside the museum where all the liquids need to be drained and made sure that it's set for them to be on display, or getting them back here to be able to put the liquids and fuels back in to get them on the road for everybody to see and enjoy, and for people like myself and our curator Sam being able to drive them and enjoy them in that way too, and have people ride along with us.
I've been here doing this since 2012. Every day is a challenge because everything's different. These cars are so much different than what we have today. It's just quite a challenge to work on them. Current project right now we're working on is trying to get the engine back together and back in the 31 Auburn behind me there. It's an education car that's taken out quite frequently and used. The engine broke a piston a while back and we're just now getting the engine back together and like to get it back in the car. The other project we got going behind me is the Packard, trying to get the voltage regulator charging system fixed on that car. It needs a voltage regulator. The other big project going on right now is Duesenberg chassis build in the front showroom. If you guys seen that, it's going to be a display over at the museum when done.
My name is Robert Prost. I've been a volunteer here since about February of 2001. I grew up working on a farm, so I was working on the tractors and changing oil and all those things, and then tinkering along with cars. I got my first MGA in 1958 and I still have it, and I've added a couple more sports cars since then, so I love old sports cars and tinkering with those. They never stay in tune, but that's why MGs are famous. So I was started out when we had the shop across the street over there, old filling station that was taken down, and then had the privilege of being here when this building was built, and it was built on the basis of what all the guys in the crew felt was needed, and the folks that run the museum said, "What do you need?" And they said, "This is what we need." And they said, "Okay," and this is what we have. So it was never, I don't think we can do that. It's, we got it. So as you can see from this facility, the 2 lifts and all the space we have. And then we also take care of the cars in the museum. This morning, another fellow and I were doing the tires. We have several cars that we have, we call them our famous leakers. They have tires that go down on a regular basis, so we start with those and then we hit the rest of the tires in the cars there. Every so often we go through and rotate the engines in the museum, put some preservative in, take the plugs out, preservative in, rotate them, and so they're all kept actually so they could be brought out and got started whenever the folks need one to go to a car show someplace. It's fun working with the group because we got a bunch of great guys that are volunteers, very knowledgeable. And the folks at the museum are just wonderful to work for, very cooperative, and it's just, as I said, whatever you need, well, we get it. So we love doing it and look forward to every Monday, and there's a group that come in on Thursdays. This is what I call my play day of the week. So.
Hello, my name's Sam. I'm the curator here at the Auburn Duesenberg Automobile Museum, and I'm here with you today to talk about our pit crew. We're in our conservation center, which is where the pit crew works. They're an all-volunteer group of about 12 or so gentlemen who help us preserve and maintain, and also to keep these cars in running order. Sometimes we want to take our cars to different shows or different events, and other times we need to get a car prepped and ready to go over to the museum. So we have several projects that we're working on at the same time. Right in front of me here, this is a 1931 Auburn 898 engine. It threw a piston a few years ago, so we've been slowly rebuilding it from scratch with the idea to go back into Auburn so it could be used again for any educational purposes.
What we have on display here is what we are going to be putting into our 1929-1930 showroom to replicate what it originally looked like when the building was opened, and that's a Duesenberg engine and chassis. So originally in 1930 you could purchase a Duesenberg, and this is what you got, and this is what was in the showroom on display for $8,500. You would then have to go and find a coach builder, one of several that you could choose from, say Murphy, for example, and then you could spend another $10,000, maybe $12,000 on just the body work for this, making it one of the most luxurious and highest cost vehicles in that time period. And this is right before the Great Depression as well, which later on, when you keep following us, you'll learn about the demise of the Auburn Automobile Company and Duesenberg, Inc., part of that having to do with the price, with the luxury, and also the Great Depression. But this building allows us to really provide a home for our vehicles and to be able to work on them in a really professional way. We are honored at the museum to be able to supply our volunteers with all the equipment and tools that they need to do the work and to do it very well and of the highest quality, and they take a lot of pride in their work, and we take a lot of pride in what we showcase, and also that we're able to provide this and have this as a facility for this world-class museum.
If you feel like you'd be suited to help with our volunteer pit crew, feel free to contact the museum.